Well, I certainly got stuff to say, like about the stuff with Bray. It belongs in a Blumhouse production. It isn't wrestling. Uncle Howdy, he missed his dive. And I don't know what it did for LA Knight, but I got a peaceful, easy feeling, as I know that other matches won't let me down, because my expectations for the pitch black match were on the ground. And I got a peaceful, easy feeling, because Bianca retained her Raw Women's crown. But Alexa is right back on her goddamn playground. And I got a peaceful, easy feeling, because the men and women's Rumble winners were the right ones crowned. After 29 men and women landed with both feet on the ground. Ooh. And I got a peaceful, easy feeling, because Sammy's friendship to Kevin Owens put a new wrinkle in this bloodline storyline around Mania season. And I got a peaceful, easy feeling, because the crowd energy did not let me down. A lot of roars reached the heavens and then crashed to the ground. I'm John Reckon with my review of the WWE Royal Rumble 2023 event. Let me know your thoughts on this show in the comments, please. Yes, not a very good rendition of the Eagles' peaceful, easy feeling, but there's not going to be a peaceful, easy feeling during some of this review. Oh boy, howdy. This show went on forever. This was a 5-match card, and my God, if they had just cut some ads and they had cut a few things, this would have been done in 3.5 hours. I would have understood if there were 7 matches, and yes, I understand you want to give the men's Royal Rumble and the women's Royal Rumble plenty of goddamn time. And don't misunderstand me, there were flaws that I had, or that I found in both of those matches, but good goddamn grief, there were some great goddamn moments. But oh boy, let me know your thoughts on this show in the goddamn comments, please, because we're going to get into it. Okay, the pre-show, the Alamo Dome. Don't look great. Really, really look great. There were some great goddamn shots. The crowd was electric. Pre-show. Okay. So Sammy basically is told by Roman, you're going to be with me tonight. Everybody else stay away. This is Sammy's night. Oh-ho. Kayla, Booker, Steve Patrick, Lawler, and Rosenberg on the panel. I like Kayla and Booker T. Every time he does his shucky ducky quack quack moment, I think, oh no, Whitney, don't go near that bathtub. Oh, like mother, like daughter. Oh, this review's going well. JBL then bullied another guy. Greg Miller, he baked him a pie. What flavor? Pie flavor. Gabriel Iglesias shows up. He's a big wrestling fan. I like Gabriel Iglesias. Very funny. And the people picked numbers off a wall. I don't know whose idea this was, but nevertheless. Hardy. Not Jeff Hardy, not Matt Hardy, not anybody named Hardy. No, this talentless hack who I'm sure is a nice guy, but has no business being near wrestling. So, we go to the main show, and Hardy was giving a voiceover and everything, and we have Cole and Graves calling the action. Cole was losing his voice immediately. So it's probably good they brought Pat McAfee back. They brought him back, and he was all happy, all elated. Everybody was just thrilled. Yeah. Everybody was I was happy because the whole adage, how can we miss you if you don't go away? Pat McAfee went away for a while for a big payday. Several big paydays for college football. And you know what? He's back. It's time for Mania season. They're going to do Pat versus Corey at Mania, aren't they? Because they were snapping at each other like little bitches. Except the difference is Pat is funny. Corey's just a little bitch that doesn't know how to dress. So anyway, the men's Rumble match, 90-second intervals. Don't worry, if you miss the rules the first time, they go over them again in detail for the women's Royal Rumble. Okay, so I am going to go over certain entrants, and then I'm going to talk about this. So Gunther and Sheamus start out, and then Miz and Kofi were number 3 and 4. Gargano, Xavier, Cross, Gable, Drew McIntyre from 5 to 9. And then we get to Santos Escobar, and then we get to that point. So, okay. It was great that Sheamus and Gunther lasted a while. Sheamus lasted about 52 goddamn minutes, and Gunther, being the Iron Man, doing the best to chop everybody in the land, and he hits with force, and you're going to land right on the floor. Boy, these song references are going to make this review drag on, as opposed to that intro. Gargano was back. Good for him. Now, Miz, I thought, was actually going to pull Jerry Lawler and last for a while, like he did in 96. He didn't. He didn't last all that long. The crowd was very, very loud. Very, very loud, and the dome was packed. And I will say that more often than not, this crowd came across very, very loud. I know that there were certain people that I talked to on Twitter, certain Twitter mutuals. I hope you guys had a goddamn blast. As you guys deserve this show. Everything is bigger in Texas, including the length of the shows. So, I do want to... Xavier was gone via Gunther. Miz was gone first. That was good. Cross was kicked out via Drew. Let's be honest, carrying Cross is cooked. He probably isn't going to last much past Mania, and he quite frankly shouldn't. Him and Scarlett, I mean, I just don't see the point. Kofi hit the office chair and I think was going to do something cool, but I think he really got... I hope that Kofi's all right. I hope that he's going to be all right to wrestle in NXT. I just hope he's all right in general, because that looked brutal. One of his feet was off the ground. Did he come back in the Rumble? I don't think he did. So, and then we get to the other ones. We got Santos Escobar, Angelo Dawkins, and then the Bork laser. Bork come in, clear out ring. Bork F5, Bork F5, Bork F5, everybody. So Bork eliminated a few people. Brock Lesnar, by the way. Santos hit his head when he got thrown out. There were a lot of headers that were taken here. This show was snake bit at times. And he eliminates Santos, Dawkins, and Gable and just destroys people. And then faces off with Gunther. Okay, please, yes. As long as Gunther wins, you give me that match. Give me that match. Because Brock would be willing to work with him. And Gunther could work with him. Now, Lashley came in. He eliminated Bork pretty goddamn quickly. I think Brock was done in 3 minutes and probably got paid about $1 million for it. He's got the easiest job in the world. Big, meaty head, F5, do all this shit, shoot guns off in Saskatchewan and not do anything. You can't help but respect the fact the guy keeps getting big paydays. And then we get back to other people. So yeah, Lashley was in number 13. Barry Corbin was in number 14. Brock was so pissed, he threw the steps on the announcer's table and then laid out Barry Corbin. He is for now and always will be Barry Corbin because of Raw 30. And then Seth Pheasant Rollins coming in. Whoa. And some other good stuff here. Yeah, Corbin gets laid out. Everyone is watching on the cock. That's what McAfee said at one point. And it was good that Barry Corbin got eliminated. Ray was going to come out. Oh no, Ray doesn't. See, because before we get Otis at number 16, then we get Ray at number 17. He doesn't come out because number 18, the worst second generation wrestler, or at least the worst son of a wrestler that we've seen in a while, Dominic, comes out in Ray's mask. So we have to believe that even though we've seen what Ray looks like, anybody that's seen any footage from WCW knows what Ray looks like. We can't see him because he still looks 14 years old unmasked. He does. It's baffling. But yeah, Dominic's in there. Lasts way too goddamn long for somebody who has no in-ring talent. Elias comes in at number 19. Balor Booker T comes in at number 21. I know that they wanted to have a surprise home state pop. I get it. But there were some wasted spots here. Elias was a wasted spot. Yes, you need to have people tossed out here and there. But Cole basically calls, Dominic a piece of shit. And then, they... Just throwing out a whole bunch of stuff. Gargano got eliminated. Elias got eliminated quickly. Booker T, look, I get it, but this was a waste of a spot. I'm sorry. Gunther was bloody. That was after the guitar shot that Elias managed to hit him with. And then then fists start flying and everything. Suddenly, we get back to the list here, and Priest comes in, Montez Ford, who gets eliminated quickly. You Think You Know Me at number 24. Edge gets in there, hits a few spears, eliminates Priest and Balor, tries to eliminate Dominic, and then gets eliminated. And then Rhea comes out and attacks Edge after Balor trips over his own four-leaf clover that he ran over with a mower. Anybody who remembers that song, I'm sorry. Wait, that's dead. Never mind. Let's not talk about what the actual song is. But they get back to the entranceway. It's a long way to the entranceway. Long way, because it's a dome. They should have gotten a cart. But nevertheless, Rhea attacks, and then Beth suddenly shows up and spears Rhea. We're probably getting a mixed tag match at Elimination Chamber, I imagine, since that's in Montreal, which, by the way, is in Canada for those who aren't geography majors. And Edge, being from Canada, we're probably going to get a mixed tag match at some point. Okay. Beth, that was Beth's only appearance. We didn't have Beth in the Rumble. That surprised me. And given a few of the entrants that we had, we probably should have had Beth in the goddamn thing, but nevertheless. Theory was in at number 25, not Edward James Almost at number 26. So, yeah, Braun and Edward James Almost going back and forth, because Braun was number 27. Then Ricochet, Logan Paul, number 29. The Pig Abandoner. Noted piece of shit that filmed a dead body in a Japanese forest and a bunch of other stuff. The guy's a piece of shit. Jake Paul's a piece of shit. Hey, Logan Paul has taken to this as far as in-ring ability and everything. Still a piece of shit, and I hate him, man. Quite frankly, if they both dropped over and turned as blue as that shirt there in front of their parents, I wouldn't care one bit. And then, heavy boos. So Cody comes out to a pop at number 30 because wrestling has more than one royal family. Okay, Dominic gets gone way too long for a guy that has no talent. Okay, I'm just going to say this right now. What were Logan Paul and Ricochet trying to do? Why were they trying to recreate the Mission Impossible 2 spot between Doug Ray Scott and Tom Cruise? What the hell was this? Why were they doing this? What the hell was going on? I don't understand. That was one of the stupidest goddamn spots I've ever seen. And if both of them happen to get injured, well, maybe don't play stupid games and you won't win stupid goddamn prizes. That was really, really monumentally dumb. Let's collide with each other. It's going to be cool. Ow, we needed our ribs. You fucking morons. And then, so it's down to Cody, Gunther, and Rollins as the final three, except Logan Paul was still there. So we got dueling pedigrees. Logan Paul eliminated Seth Pheasant Rollins. You're going to put Rollins against Logan Paul at Mania? Great way to use Seth Rollins, who's hugely over. Yeah, I know that some people like what Logan Paul's been doing, but now the bloom's off the rose. The bloom's off the rose, I'm just going to say. And then Gunther and eventually Logan Paul got eliminated. Gunther and Cody had a match within a match, basically. Kind of like an extended version of what Shawn and Undertaker did at the end of the 2007 Rumble, which conveniently was also in San Antonio. Yes. Cool. Gunther managed to break Ray's record and actually lasted, I believe they said 71 minutes because he lasted from the very beginning. Cody, by the way, ended up eliminating him because Cody, Cody being the babyface, is going to eliminate the heel that's all exhausted and everything but fought valiantly. Cody wins. Okay. Cody had to win. He had to win with how they were hyping him. And Gunther will get his shot. Gunther probably should win the Rumble next year, I'm saying. But that was impressive. That was good stuff. Good. There were issues with the Rumble, like Logan Paul, the aforementioned Pig Abandoner, and all that stuff, and a few other things. And it went on way too long. For 90-second intervals, this thing went 71 minutes, which means the closing sequence went about 15. And I get it. You want to give people a chance to shine, but longer matches don't exactly necessarily mean that your show's going to be great. Speaking of not great, here's a package on Austin Theory to fill time, because we need to fill time on a show that went nearly 4.5 hours on the main show, if you ignore the pre-show, and quite frankly, everybody should. LA Knight makes his entrance. Video package. Great. More video packages to fill time. They should have just made a separate feed for the video packages, and we could just switch back and forth, and we would have already been done with the Rumble. Bray makes his entrance. This was 10 minutes easily between LA Knight's entrance and all this. Bray versus LA Knight Mountain Dew Pitch Black match. Go back and watch this if you want to see one of the worst modern era abominations, abortions, every goddamn word I can come up with. I can't come up with enough words to summarize how freaking bullshit this was. Oh, he had translucent paint or glow-in-the-dark paint and everything. It looked cool. Yeah, it looked cool in We're All Going to the World's Fair. Kind of, sort of, except that movie sucked. It looked cool in Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. It looked cool in a lot of movies. Here's the difference. Those are movies. You can watch those. You can do multiple takes. No, let's do this stuff. Let's just... This buried LA Knight. This goddamn buried him 15 feet under. And I don't like using that goddamn word, but... This was one of the worst abominations I've ever seen. If you like this, fine. And I'm going to say right now, if you're a Bray Wyatt fan, if you're an Alexa Bliss fan, you ain't going to like this part of the review. Not that I care, because it's my opinion. You guys can have your opinion and shout out in the comments and do whatever the hell you want. But can this company be sold so we can get rid of this supernatural shit? I want this company sold. I want somebody to buy this, to get rid of this stuff, to streamline it and make this show good again. Because this isn't good. This is terrible television. Everything about this is not pro wrestling. This is bad for wrestling. Everything about this is bad for wrestling. You have a great talent. Yes, if LA Knight isn't 40, he's close. Because he's been around for a while. And he's been killing it and doing some great stuff. He was killing it in Impact, even though... Quite frankly, a lot of people weren't watching Impact at that point. More people were watching Impact when he was there than they are now. But then he went to the NWA and he was doing well. And then when that shut down, he came over to WWE and he was in NXT and he was one of the best parts, even with a lot of shit they were doing with him. And then he got made into Max Dupree. He's still trying to clean that off. And he's a great promo. And Bray does some great stuff. But go be at Blumhouse. Go do something horrific in Hollywood, because you're not a pro wrestler. He's not a pro wrestler, folks. He may come from a wrestling family. Well, Nick Hogan came from a wrestling family, but I'm not comparing Bray Wyatt to Nick Hogan because Bray Wyatt hasn't killed anybody in an auto accident. So anyway, Bray won. This was dog shit. The translucent stuff and everything probably was a good idea in theory, all this glow-in-the-dark paint and all this stuff. This was as bad as the thing with Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt at Mania 33. And then, as if LA Knight wasn't already in, a freaking goddamn pit to the point where you can't get him out, buried in a crawl space somewhere 18,000 feet under. Why you build a crawl space down there, I don't know. Unnamed person that's fictitious I just made up. But LA Knight then gets chased away. There's a glow-in-the-dark kendo stick. He gets chased away all the way to this staging area, this convenient staging area. It just happens to be all free to do what they want any old time. And then Bray's doing this, and suddenly Uncle Howdy's up there. Woo! And then they do a crash pad thing where LA Knight's laid out, and then he does a dive and misses it by about 15 country miles. Who was this for? Who was this for? Just release LA Knight. Give him a year's worth of pay and bring him back at the Rumble. Bring him back at the Rumble next year. Or bring him back at SummerSlam. Or bury it. What? To who? What was this for? Genuine question, who was this for? I nearly shut the show off. I nearly said, no, you know what? And honestly, fuck everybody involved in this. I mean, I've written off LA Knight because they don't care about LA Knight. What was this? This wasn't good. Everything about this Bray Wyatt stuff is garbage. Do I hate the person? No. Do I want the person to succeed? Fine. If you like it, fine. Is this wrestling? No. This Uncle Howdy stuff, all this stuff, it's stupid. It's monstrous. It's ridiculous. It's no better than when Vince McMahon was in charge. Maybe the problem wasn't Vince. Maybe the problem is this guy ain't a wrestler. He's an actor. So yeah, I pretty much just about gave up on this show here. But 51,338 fans in attendance. Might have been inflated, but I have a feeling that's pretty close. Because a few days ago, they had about 45,000 tickets, or attendance available, or tickets that were available to purchase, or upwards of that, and I think they were at about 43,500. So they probably did about 50,000 because it was pretty packed. Michelle McCool in the front row, so she won't be part of the Women's Rumble about that. Bianca versus Alexa Bliss, Raw Women's Championship match. Can we get a legit challenger that's an actual wrestler that isn't so microscopic and ridiculous and not an embarrassment to watch in the ring? And I know Alexa Bliss battled a whole bunch of stuff when she was younger. I'm not knocking her, and I feel bad that she battled that stuff, but you know what? As a wrestler, no, she's not good. This was terrible. Bianca won. Thank God. That's all I gotta say. And then, oh, no supernatural shit. Oh, spoke too soon. Suddenly big screens are playing with Alexa's Playground, all this stuff and everything. And I wish that give somebody, at this point, I don't know who you can get to book this thing, but Triple H is not the genius you guys think he is. That this is the best he can do. Elimination Chamber, by the way, is going to be in Montreal. Then we get a Judgment Day package, mostly on the whole stuff with Beth and Edge and everything. And look, I get it. You want to hype this stuff, but this show's already, we're almost 2 hours into the show here. We've had 2 matches. Yes, one was a Rumble. No, actually, we've had 3 matches. No, we've had 2 matches because one was an abomination, an abomination against every god that's existed. 30-woman Royal Rumble match. Again, 90-second intervals. Okay, I will say right now, while I have some issues with a couple of the entrants, there was nothing particularly wrong with this women's Rumble. This was certainly better than last year's Rumble. This is certainly better than a couple of the Rumbles they've had. So I'm going to go over some of the entrants. Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan starting out first. And they did great shit, and they lasted until the very end. That was good stuff. Dana Brooke came in. What was Dana Brooke doing? Her best. Emma came in. It's all about her. She didn't last very long. Well, she might have lasted a few minutes. I stopped caring because no offense against Emma, but she has meant nothing. By and large, I would say half the women on this, on this list really haven't meant anything. And that's not knocking their talent, but that's just how they've been booked. Shayna Baszler actually lasted quite a bit. That was actually pretty good. Of course, she got eliminated stupidly because they have to make Shayna look really stupid. Bayley, not Jade, her name's B-Fab. Yeah, at least Jade improved in the ring. B-Fab can't do anything. So, Rhea landing badly a lot. I think they were determined to end Rhea's life or cripple her because she got bloodied, she got bruised, she got battered. And Bayley can't hide that is what I wrote down because good God, Bayley looking great, Rhea looking great. There was a lot of yep in this match, but a lot of great talent. And also, Dana, I'm sorry, Dana has been there long enough. Dana has been there since at least 2015. And I don't think it's working. I'm not saying release her. I'm not saying I want to see her released. But what else can you do with her? So Roxanne showed up. She didn't put on the red dress because she didn't last very goddamn long. Dakota Kai and Io Sky show up at 9 and 10. So then we get a brief bit of Damage Control dominating the Rumble. It didn't last as long as Legacy dominating the Men's Rumble in 2009 that I retroviewed. You can check that out. Natty was back at number 11. Goes right after Shayna, who broke her nose. Good on Natty. I'm glad to see Natty back. I like Natty. Natty's never going to win. She might win one more championship, but she's not going to be in any big main events. At this point, she's going to be more of the elder woman statement, or the veteran, I should say, because it's not about age. It's about years. She will be one of which she could float around to NXT. She could do some stuff. I like Natty, and she's going to be a lifer there. So then, yeah, Damage Control did a good, domination spot. And then suddenly, whoa, Becky shows up at number 15. But first, we get Zoe Stark showing up at number 13. And the nice thing about Zoe Stark is she actually was in San Francisco and talked to Pat Patterson after he found out, took part in some Roy Shire shows where Roy Shire booked the Battle Royal and everything. And that's where Pat Patterson got the inspiration for the Royal Rumble. I mean, hell, Zoe Stark was there when the original Alamo invasion happened. She was there on the front line of defense. She was right there with Bobby Fish. Hell, she even, thanked Lacey Evans at one point during this Rumble for her service. She was around when the Marines were first created. What I'm basically trying to say is that I understand that Zoe Stark actually remembers when the Black Plague happened. She remembers being there for Mae Young and Fabulous Moolah's debut matches. Okay, enough jokes about Zoe Stark's age. She's actually a lot younger than me and looks about 200. This is mean. Also, I don't know why I felt the need to knock Zoe Stark, but Xia Li was in. I like Xia Li. Xia deserves better. Becky comes in at number 15, and business, as they say, has picked up. Tegan comes in, the girl with the shiniest wizard. Cole says, Corey, what does that mean? You know, I hate to say it, but Corey actually had a point there. Damage control, they just lay out Becky. There were some weird moments on this because Becky got laid out and then got back in a little bit later. Then we got Asuka, a.k.a. I'm going to tell you exactly what I wrote down. It's like, oh, she's in a kabuki mask. Oh, she's going to have all this six with the mask. That's Kana makeup. Oh, shit. Everybody's going to die. Everyone will die. Everybody dies. Lance Archer doesn't just have that theme. Everybody dies. And she got a huge pop. They were chanting Kana. At least some people were. There were some smart fans there. This was some good shit. Piper is back. Piper Nevin. She's no longer job. I'm glad the Piper's all right. Apparently she had a really, really bad bout with COVID. She's better, and that's great. As long as she's healthy, that's what matters. Whether you're a fan of her or not, at least she's back. And Tamina came down, and she did decide to take the stairs, and every other woman should have avoided, because when the Snuka's around the stairs, you want to make sure you avoid them. Chelsea Green came in, and there goes Chelsea Green. That's pretty much a summary of her, and I'm shocked she didn't break her wrist again, because she broke her wrist constantly when she was in WWE. Some people have the worst luck, and some people are Chelsea Green when they probably should be on a smaller stage. Becky tosses out both Dakota and Io, and then Bayley tosses Becky, and then Liv tosses Bayley, and then Damage Control lay out Becky again. So we're probably getting Bayley versus Becky at Mania. In all honesty, is it the worst thing in the world? I mean, I was going to say, like, you could get Becky and Charlotte teaming up, except Charlotte's women's champ. Maybe you could, well, let's see, who the hell could you have? Could you turn JC Jane and Gigi Babyface? We'll talk about that. This review's already gone long enough as it is, because there's a lot to talk about. Hey, Zelina's in. I thought there was a height requirement. She can crawl under the bottom rope without even actually having to duck. So anyway, Raquel comes in. Raquel Rodriguez, Gonzalez, Chiquita Banana. And Mia, I'm not even knocking, but she's had like 18 different names. Then Mia Yim, Mi Chin, decided on a name. Lacey Evans comes in. She's disappointed she couldn't toss more minorities out. Yeah, fuck Lacey Evans, by the way, for the processed foods cause autism and ADHD thing. Michelle McCool comes in from the crowd. Yay, I guess. Indy comes in. Okay, good. Call Indy up. It's about time. Sonya's in. Good God, Sonya looked great. Shotzi was in. Nikki Cross, and then Nia Jax. Let me just say right now that I hope that Nia Jax actually got just battered and bruised and humiliated and actually got injured, because after all the anti-vax stuff that she posted and all the bullshit that she posted, thinking that she's so goddamn smart and she has a superior immune system. Well, apparently she's back with the goddamn company. So Triple H, you deserve every goddamn bit of scorn that you goddamn get for rehiring Nia Jax, who, by the way, isn't good. Are you doing this as a make good for Dwayne? Dwayne doesn't want to come back. Why would he want to come back? Why would anyone want to work with Nia? People left in droves. Kairi's sane. Kairi went back to, Japan to do, other stuff, rather than work with Nia Jax. You're going to have other women leave because Nia Jax isn't good. It's like if the Liberty Bell was melted down. And I don't really care if people want to say that, oh, it's fat shaming. It's not fat shaming, it's human shaming. She's a goddamn terrible human being. She deserves to be shamed in every goddamn way possible. And if she freaking ended up exploding, I wouldn't feel bad one goddamn bit. So at least Nia Jax got her ass tossed out. Hopefully, actually injuring herself, because she doesn't deserve any goddamn bit of happiness or whatever. This got messy at the end is what I noted. And Kana, Liv, and Rhea were the last three. That's what I'm going to call Asuka. And then we get the missed time on the apron. Liv is all struggling. Kana gets eliminated. Rhea then manages to eliminate Liv by wrapping her legs around Liv's face and slamming her. It should have been me. Good on Buddy Murphy, by the way. They seem like a happy couple. And there you go. Wire to wire. Not unlike Chris Benoit, who was a tremendous family man, and man, he just had a stranglehold on wrestling 3.5 years later. Moving on from that, dear God, more ads is what I wrote down. Hardy doing a concert. I want him arrested for impersonating a musician. Owens and Roman do their entrances. The tribal queef sign, I like that. Here's how I'm going to summarize Owens and Roman. The match was fine. They did a lot of kickouts. They did some stuff. And you know what it was all about? Sammy, would he do the right thing? And what ended up happening is Roman yelled at him, "Get a chair, Sammy." He's like, "You didn't tell me that. You told me not to do anything." And Sami and Owens just stay down. We get a barricade spot. We get a couple step bumps. I don't know why Owens felt the need to do that. That was ridiculous. My God. That was insane. I hope he's all right because I look brutal. I know he's a professional, but that's furniture. You can't really work with that. Spear for 3. So Roman wins, but it's all about the aftermath. They handcuff Owens, beat the shit out of him. Super kick, all that. And Sami's like, it's beneath you, Roman. You don't have to hit him with a chair. You don't have to. And Roman says, fine, you do it. You hit him with a chair. Okay. And they kind of almost do like a Ted DiBiase Virgil thing with the $1 Million Championship belt after Ted had pinned Dusty in Dusty's last match during his WWF match during his full-time run. And he basically says, pull the trigger. He's pie facing him and all that stuff and everything. And then, boom, he hits Roman. The dome roof came off temporarily. And then they beat the shit out of Sami. Solo and Jimmy beat him. But you know who didn't? Jay. He's in the corner and he's like, he leaves. Are we getting the Uso split? Are we going to get Jimmy and Solo as tag team champions? Are we going to get Jey Uso going off and doing something? Because they beat the shit out of... Owens is laid out and everything, eventually kind of waking up, but he got the shit beat out of him. Sami got the shit beat out of him with a lot of chair shots and everything. And there were fuck you Roman chants. This crowd was pissed. There you go. That's a way to kick it off. Cody versus Roman is going to be the end game, but they have... Yeah, Sami and Owens are probably going to be the end game for taking out the Usos, but geez, Jay remembers, hey, wait a second, I got treated like shit during the Thunderdome era. What the hell am I doing here? Okay, I do want to say right now, though, that there were problems with this show. This show could have been accomplished with an hour cut down. You could have cut the ads off. All that. I know it's a big stage and you want to get people to watch your show. I understand that. But this could have been cut down and had a lot of issues. That being said, there were some good moments, some potentially good moments, but this went on way too long, got very uncomfortable, and no Rock the Dwayne Johnson. Oh no! That being said, let me know your thoughts on the Rumble event as a whole in the comments. Please like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. Again, fuck the Pitch Black, Mountain Dew, whatever the hell match. Fuck all this Alexa Bliss, Uncle Howdy, Bray Wyatt bullshit. Go to Blumhouse. Get the fuck out of wrestling. You don't belong. Anyway, see you soon.